We always knew that it was going to be a when, not if sort of thing. So, we knew we'd have to deal with this eventually, but we didn't really anticipate its form.
With book bans sweeping the nation, Ferndale Library Assistant Director Jordan Wright says it won't be long before a wave of censorship hits Michigan. In early June, 2 people checked out the LGBTQ books on display for Pride Month, trying to stop others from reading them. The tactic? Part of a national campaign called Hide the Pride by a group called Catholic Vote. The books were eventually returned, but Wright notes the larger trend of book banning is on the rise to take the books completely off the shelves.
Right now, the biggest target is LGBTQ books, particularly books with trans characters or on trans topics.
PEN America tracks book bans in school libraries, reporting 26% of banned titles have LGBTQ+ characters or themes.
This past fall, we were able to count over 1,400 instances of book bans, which equals about 800 or over, I should say, 800 unique titles being removed from student access in public schools across the country.
Casey Meehan is the Freedom to Read program director at PEN America.
I think being able to see yourself represented in a book is critically important, as well as being able to see others who may differ from you represented in a book is also critically important to, continuing to foster, what we would say is like an informed citizenry that's empathetic and understanding of each other and our differences.
While some think all books should be included in the library collection, others believe certain topics are inappropriate.
So I don't believe that topics such as gender identity, gender ideology, those types of things are appropriate for minors in school.
Katie McFarland is the chair of the Oakland chapter of Moms for Liberty, which wants more parental control over their children's education.
There have also been, I have also found as well, so many people across the state of Michigan and across the country, pornographic material in our school libraries. Just recently, we discovered the book Genderqueer in the Troy High Library.
McFarland cites graphic sexual images in the novel Genderqueer, a memoir by Maya Kobabe.
Now, if that's not pornographic, I don't know what is.
Genderqueer was the most widely banned book across the country this year. It recounts the author's life growing up and accepting their gender identity and sexuality. While some say the book is obscene, others argue it's misunderstood.
I think there's a part of the strategy that can be provocative, that if you call out one book and label it as such, and that book, and it kind of catches on, that people begin to fear that there are books that have that these books exist and that these books are pornographic. Sort of the rhetoric gets locked in the public discourse. But again, we say there is a legal test for obscenity.
It's called the Miller test, based on a U.S. Supreme Court decision that defines obscenity. Libraries can't acquire items without consulting the test. Along with school libraries, book banners are targeting public libraries like Ferndale. To counter that effort, the Michigan Library Association has an initiative called My Right to Read, which started in 2021.
My Right to Read is about the value of protecting our First Amendment rights, which is the right of everyone to choose for themselves what they read, what they want to read, and not making any assumptions about my neighbor and what they can read.
My Right to Read has a hotline, news of local incidents, tips for fighting book bans, and encourages citizens to join the cause. For Makula, more support for librarians feels essential.
Censorship has been happening forever and ever and ever. What we're seeing is the increased volume at our libraries at this point, and which is just almost overwhelming. The health and well-being of the profession is tired right now. We've had to pivot so quickly to protect what is one of their most valued guiding principles, which is protecting the First Amendment.
In Lapeer, north of Macomb County, a county prosecutor threatened to pursue legal action against library workers for allowing genderqueer on the shelves. At Potmos Library in Jamestown, Michigan, near Grand Rapids, citizens voted to defund the library.
Basically, they were up for a millage renewal, and the issue that prevented the millage renewal was that the library director wouldn't remove LGBTQ children's books from the library, and so the millage didn't pass, so the funding ran out.
The Potmos Library is due to shut down in mid-2024 unless more funding is found. In Ferndale, the library doesn't face those challenges.
We put out a call. Our strategy was basically to get enough copies of these books on hand, pre-processed, ready to go, so that if this were to happen again, we can just put out more books.
Wright said the library received hundreds of books in the following weeks, along with community support in the form of Facebook messages, personal thanks, even offerings of food.
More and more libraries are community gathering places. They're places, they're the primary places for enrichment, education, entertainment in a community.
The library is there for everyone. And I think that we have to just keep that in mind, is all are welcome. We have a diversity of books for all, and what's right for me might not be right for you. So choose a different book.
Watch One Detroit, Thursday at 7:30 p.m.
You can find more at onedetroitpbs.org or subscribe to our social media channels and sign up for our One Detroit newsletter.